Everyone, today Jesus saves the woman caught in adultery. Jesus went to the Mount of Olives, and early in the morning he returned to the temple. All the people gathered around him, and he sat down and taught them. The legal experts and Pharisees brought a woman caught in adultery. Placing her in the center of the group, they said to Jesus, "Teacher, this woman was caught in the act of committing adultery. In the law, Moses commanded us to stone a woman like this. What do you say?" They said this to test him because they wanted a reason to bring an accusation against him. Jesus bent down and wrote in the ground with his finger. They continued to question him, so he stood up and replied, "Whoever hasn't sinned can throw the first stone." Bending down again, he wrote in the ground. Those who heard him went away one by one, beginning with the elders. Finally, only Jesus and the woman were left in the middle of the crowd. Jesus stood up and said to her, "Woman, where are they? Is there no one to condemn you?" She said, "No one, sir." And Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn you. Go. From now on, don't sin anymore." So this is one of the most beloved stories in John's gospel that John probably didn't write. If you look in the footnotes in most Bibles, it'll mention how the oldest manuscripts don't have this. And sometimes it's found in other places and other gospels, and it really doesn't fit the flow of the narrative, and the language is slightly different. So, should we be concerned about this? Should we doubt this story? Well, no, because we kind of know this story is so clearly Jesus. So think of it like an outtake or a deleted scene, right? People knew this story, and early editors were like, well, this story has to go somewhere. We'll put it here, I guess, because it's just been a lot of Jesus talking. We need a break, maybe. So what is so Christ-like about this story? Why is it so beloved? Well, to me, it comes down to Christ's wisdom and his compassion. We see his wisdom in the way that he can see through people. He can see their intention and their motivation. For these religious authorities, he can see how they're really just focused on punishment and rule breaking, especially when it comes to the choices of women, to try and test those who aren't considered kosher, not to really, do what's right, or to see the way that we claim to be doing things for God, but we really just want to humiliate the powerless. You notice that the man that she was sleeping with isn't there, even though the law says he's supposed to be, but it's much easier to use her. Jesus also has the wisdom to just kind of wait out their righteous anger after his brilliant statement about throwing the first stone. He sees through their motivations, and he also sees this woman. For her, or for them, she is just an object lesson. She's a bad example. She's a sinner. For Jesus, she's a human being. Yes, she's made a mistake, if they're correct about her unfaithfulness, but that choice doesn't define her. She is not her sin. Now, Jesus does encourage her to leave behind choices that hurt her and hurt others. Although, if you actually pay attention in the Gospels, Jesus says, stop sinning, less than what we might assume. Mostly, he just includes people and loves them, and the necessary changes happen. Because to be seen without condemnation, it really is life-changing. So wherever this written account originated, it testifies to the compassionate gaze of Christ. So can you trust that he looks at you in the same way? And can you look at others as he would?